Go. Oh, shut up. No, on les influence pas avec là. Fais vite. Un point, c'est ce que tu fais la vidéo là.
Il faut tremper les seins. Même les seins
là.
Voilà.
Moi, Bobby, Wata.
Allez.
Bobby, Issa Wata.
Vote.
Put your body. Put the gun.
Après, on ne sort pas. Tu ne vas pas mourir.
You.
Tu vois les filles.
Put your body, Issa Wata.
Les femmes, on a mettre là, on fait ça.
Avance. Ça vous allez aller laver vos culs à côté. Mais vous ne plus sortir. Avancez.
Après, demain, on va vous draguer, mais n'acceptez pas.
On ne fait même pas, on ne veut même pas. Oh.
Hala.
Allez, avance. C'est toi, maman.
Viens.
Avancez. Allez.
Tu vas laisser ta
Avance.
Tu vas arriver là-bas.
Avance. No cry. Oh, no cry.
Tu vas partir dans le bar.
Vous prenez ça par Bluetooth.
Ouais, mamie.
Ton téléphone a encore l'énergie.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Avance.
Oh, tu pleures.
You get swelling.
You want cry, eh? Ambazonia, we want to that country. Want to that country.
Elle va arriver jusqu'au bout, ma chérie.
C'est le bébé de la femme là qui me faisait pitié. La femme qui est venue avec le magicien là ici, non?
Ils sont
Le
entrés.
magicien fait entrer avec lui là-bas.
Ambazonia Defense Forces, the vanguards of the Ambazonia War of Independence.
Weakness invites aggression and bullying. Weakness invites aggression and bullying. Everyone that is responsible, everyone who is a manager, an administrator, a collaborator, an official of Cameroon occupation government in Ambazonia will be held accountable. Everyone who is responsible for Cameroon's genocide, for Cameroon's massacres, for the killings of the Ambazonian people, for the torture of the Ambazonian people, everyone who is responsible for rendering our people to become homeless, displaced, refugees, everyone who is responsible for the mass detention, mass incarceration, mass arrest of the Ambazonian people will be held accountable. Justice is coming. in the absence of an international negotiated peaceful settlement of this conflict to bring justice and accountability to the Ambazonian people. In the absence of a credible, meaningful, acceptable negotiation that settles and resolves the conflict between Cameroon and Ambazonia, leaves the Ambazonian people with no other choice than to pursue retributive justice, than to pursue natural justice. We will not wait for another 30,000 Ambazonians to be killed. We will not wait for another 50,000 Ambazonians to be murdered. We will not wait for another 100,000 Ambazonians to be slaughtered before the so-called international community steps in. We will not wait. The Ambazonian people have suffered enough, died enough. The Ambazonian people have gone through enough pain, enough torture, enough rape, enough maiming, enough homelessness. The Ambazonian people have gone through enough dehumanization, abuse, harassment, shame, and trauma. According to UN reports, there are more than 750,000 Ambazonians that have no homes. About 1,200 Ambazonian villages have been destroyed, have been burned by Cameroon occupation forces. We have more than 450,000 Ambazonians that are in various countries as refugees. Majority of them are in Nigeria, Ghana, across most countries in West and Central Africa. Ambazonians are refugees from Nigeria right up to Mexico, the United States, Canada, the UK, South Africa, India, Japan, all across the globe. We have millions of Ambazonian children that have not been to schools. We have Ambazonian girls that are now prostitute just to survive. We have Ambazonian mothers that for the last 80 years have been living in the forest. We have 750,000 of our people that have been living in the forest, in farmhouses, just to survive. We have more than 7,000 Ambazonians that are in Cameroon colonial camps, concentration camps. Why? What is Ayoktabe doing in jail? Why is Tasang in jail? Why is Mancho in jail? Why is Benji in jail? What are these 7,000 something Ambazonians doing in the various Cameroon concentration camps? Why is it that our children cannot go to school? Our girls have become prostitutes to survive. We have 750,000 Ambazonians living in the forest as animals, just so they can be safe. But we have colonial governors We have colonial SDOs. We have colonial DOs. We have colonial mayors. We have colonial government delegates. We have colonial councillors. We have colonial managers of the occupation. We have colonial senators. We have colonial parliamentarians. We have colonial administrators of the occupation living in peace, living in abundance, living in luxury homes in Ambazonia. Why? Weakness invites aggression and bullying. In the absence of a credible, meaningful, acceptable, negotiated settlement of this conflict, in the absence of international intervention, the Ambazonian people have no other choice than to exact retributive justice to Cameroon occupation, to Cameroon managers of Cameroon occupation. The Ambazonian people are left with no other choice than to pursue natural justice. So, fellow Ambazonians, justice is coming. What happened in Bamenda 3 days ago is the beginning of natural justice. It's the beginning of retributive justice. It's the beginning. The Ambazonian people, the millions of the millions of victims of Mr. Biya's war, of Mr. Biya's genocide, of Mr. Biya's torture, of Mr. Biya's destruction in Ambazonia. The millions of Ambazonians will take upon themselves to pursue natural justice and retributive justice. Every single Cameroon colonial administrator in Ambazonia will be pursued. We will hold them accountable for the pain they have caused on the Ambazonian people. We will hold them accountable for the crimes they've committed on the Ambazonian people. We will hold them accountable for the carnage. We will hold them accountable for the terrorism. We will hold them accountable for the destruction of our communities, of our villages, of our towns, of our homes, and for the suffering they have imposed on the Ambazonian people because of Cameroon occupation. Why is Mancho BBC in Cameroon concentration camp and you have a colonial administrator in the name of a governor moving freely in Ambazonia? Why is Mancho BBC in jail when you have Okala Bilai moving freely in the Ambazonia territory? Why is Benji in jail and you have Lele Lafrique moving freely in the Ambazonian territory? Why should our mothers, our sisters, our parents, our families be living in the forest? And you have Regina Mundi calling herself a colonial senator. And you have Tabetando calling himself a colonial senator, living lavishly in the Ambazonia territory. Why? Who makes those laws? Why should their lives be more valuable than the lives of an Ambazonian? Why should the life of a colonial administrator, those that are administering the genocide, the massacres, the terrorism, the scorched earth policy, those that are administering the assets in Ambazonia, why should they be moving freely in Ambazonia? Why should they have life? But an Ambazonian must die. Why should those that have committed human rights crimes against humanity on the Ambazonian people, those that have committed massacres, Human Rights Watch, the World Bank report, the International Crisis Group report, Amnesty International reports, have all documented these facts. The crimes committed by Mr. Biya, the crimes committed by Dion Ngute, the crimes committed by Tanganji Paul, the crimes committed by the bees, the crimes committed by the gendarmes, the crimes committed by the colonial military. None of them have been held accountable. None has been charged. None is in jail. In the absence of a negotiated settlement, the Ambazonian people have no other choice than to pursue natural justice, retributive justice. Revenge is a form of justice. That's a normal human response. That's a natural response. Fellow Ambazonians, when you show weakness, you invite aggression and bullying upon you. I'm not talking again. When you show weakness, you invite aggression and you invite weakness against you. Cameroon, Mr. Biya, Dion Ngute, Tanganji Paul, the Cameroon B, the Cameroon military, Cameroon gendarmes, Cameroon police, Lele Lafrique, Okala Bilai, the SDOs, the DOs, the colonial mayors, the colonial councillors, the colonial parliamentarians. Why didn't they get for live a life? Why didn't they get for live a life of luxury? Why they get for live better life? Why be say Regina Mundi would live an abundant life, live for fine house, drive better motor, chop fine chop, sleep in peace, but an Ambazonian Pekin would die because they send Cameroon can commit massacre? Why Tabetando and all the colonial administrators of the occupation, why be said they feel live freely for the Ambazonian territory, but Mancho BBC there for prison, Ayok Tabet there for prison, Tassan Wilfred there for prison, Penn Terence there for prison, Pam Fongalan for still there for prison. Why Regina Mundi get for be outside? Pa Fongalan for the day for inside prison, for inside the Ambazonia territory. Why Lele Lafrique fi move freely for the Ambazonia territory, but Ayok Tabet dinner for inside prison? Why be say the colonial appointed government delegates when they be responsible for the occupation of Ambazonia, when they be responsible for the massacre of the Ambazonian people, when they be responsible for say we get 750,000 of our papa, our mommy them, our picking them, our brothers, our sisters, our uncles, and our aunts. You get 750,000 of our people them. they don't stay for bush for the last 8 years? Why were people, why we will get 750,000 Ambazonians? They don't stay for bush for 8 years. And you get the colonial administrators, the managers of Cameroon's occupation of Ambazonia. They live freely for Ambazonia. Why? Why were own people that stay for bush? The managers of Cameroon's occupation, the administrators of the genocide, the people that they give orders for these massacres, for make the burn house them, for make the destroy community. Those people, they live, they get house for stay, they get chop for chop, they get motor for drive, they get a life for live. Why? For inside your own territory. In the absence of a negotiated settlement, in the absence of a peaceful negotiated settlement, for bring this war we be declared on our people to an end, and forgive the Ambazonian people them the justice, the accountability, and the freedom where they deserve. In the absence of international intervention, natural justice must take its course. Retributive justice must take its course. Traditional justice must take its course. All these people, when they be responsible for Cameroon's occupation of Ambazonia, they must bear the cost of the pain with the Ambazonian people that they live through. They must pay the price for the things that we Cameroon don't do and for the Ambazonian people. They must pay the price for why were people that they stay for bush. For why we get 750,000 Ambazonians that stay for bush. For why we get 1,000 villages where they don't be burned down by the bees, by the Cameroon military, by the Cameroon gendarme, by the Cameroon police, by the Cameroon military. These are facts would be well documented. The International Crisis Group report, they did for outside. The Amnesty International, their report, they did for outside. Human Rights Watch, their report, they did for outside. United Nations, their own report, they did for outside. Why we will get 450,000 Ambazonian refugees? They don't get chop for chop. Begin they don't get school for go. Mommy, they die for refugee camps. Papa, they die for refugee camps. Young Ambazonian girls, when this conflict start, they begin at 12 years old. They begin at 6 years old. They begin at 7 years old. Today, they live for Nigeria as prostitute just so that they feel survive. And you get a colonial elite. They live in luxury. They live freely. They move freely. For inside that same territory, when they don't burn our schools, they destroy what picking them. What picking them never some of what picking them never go school for 8 years. And you get these people that move freely from Ambazonia. In the absence of international intervention, in the absence of a negotiated settlement, now the time this, where all the colonial elites, the CPDM elites, the people then where they cause these massacres on our people, where they cause this genocide on our people, where they make our people they stay for bush, where they make our people they not get a place for live, where people they don't become like beasts and animals, where they don't impose this suffering on our people, where they don't cause this displacement of our people, where they don't make them like people for 16 villages for the state of Manu. They not fit go back for those villages. Where they don't terrorize our people. All these colonial elites, in the absence of international mediation, of an acceptable, peaceful negotiation of this conflict, all the people that be responsible for the pain with the Ambazonian people that they face them, they go bear the cost. they go pay the price. Justice, they come from every single one of them. We must drain the Ambazonian territory from all these people to be responsible for the pain we our people that they face. We must give our people them back their dignity. We must reclaim their lives. We must salvage and preserve their lives. The lives of our Pekin them, the lives of our Mami them, the lives of our Papa them, the lives of our people them. In the absence of an international intervention, of an international mediated settlement, in the absence of that, natural justice must take its course. Retributive justice must take its course. Weakness, it invite aggression and it invite bullying. For all the millions of Ambazonians, will they be victim? Whether a victim of rape, a victim of forced displacement, a victim said they don't destroy your business, a victim said they don't burn your village or they burn your house, a victim said they force you out of your village, a victim said they don't maim you, a victim of torture, a victim of homelessness, a victim where they don't make you become a refugee for Cameroon, a victim of this trauma, a victim say they don't detain you, a victim say you don't lost your livelihood, your life don't be turned upside down. For all the millions of Ambazonians, would they be the victim when the Cameroon manufacturer? Will not take justice, retributive justice to every single one of these people them, when they be responsible for your pain. The wicked do not need to get peace. There is no peace for the wicked. Now justice, now accountability. What happened for Bamenda 3 days ago? With victims, you did see them now in the absence of international mediated settlement. They go turn for call you terrorist. You will be a victim of terrorism. You'll be a victim of Cameroon massacres. You'll be a victim of Cameroon occupation. You'll be a victim of torture. You want to woke up for talk, they will call you terrorist. You woke up for speak the truth and for shame the devil, they call you terrorist. So in the absence of negotiation, in the absence where Cameroon don't talk, say he want pursue a military solution to the conflict, all the victims of Cameroon's war for Ambazonia will not only way for reclaim una dignity, now for exact, now for give justice to all these colonial administrators and all Cameroon agents of occupation for Ambazonia, for exact justice on them. Now the only way that where they will leave our land. When they woke up one morning, 5 of them, they don't face accountability and they don't face justice. The language go change. The tone go change. When they woke up for morning time, and 10 of them, they don't melt. They don't face natural justice. They don't face retributive justice. They don't face accountability. Yaoundé go understand. Yaoundé need to understand. A bully need to understand weakness. A terrorist need to understand weakness. An occupier need to understand weakness. The goal of the occupier is for eliminate you. The goal of the occupier is for make you, for discard you. The goal of the occupier is for wipe you, your family, your community, your territory, the entire population out and for take over the land. It don't be enough. The 30-something thousand Ambazonians, so they don't die, don't be enough. The 1,200 villages where Cameroon don't burn them, it don't be enough. The 750,000 Ambazonians where they did stay for bush, that one don't be enough. Now time this for each and every one of these people them for face natural justice, for face retributive justice. Now we fit give justice. Now we go give accountability. Now we must exact accountability to these people. Now we go give justice to these people. Now we must judge them and they must pay the price. Natural justice, traditional justice, retributive justice. Revenge na a form of justice for the victims for reclaim their humanity. Revenge na a form of justice, na a form of accountability. What happened for Bamenda? Not just the start, not just the beginning, for drain the Ambazonia territory from these vampirs, from these vampires, from these murderers, from these managers of Cameroon genocide, where they mask themselves in the name of senators, in the name of parliamentarians, in the name of colonial CPDM elites, in the name of colonial DOs, in the name of colonial SDOs, in the name of colonial mayors, and in the name of traitors, in the name of fonds and chiefs, in the name of colonial members of colonial house of chiefs or assembly. We must drain the swamp of occupation. Now the language that with the terrorist, with the occupier, with the administrators of occupation, of genocide, of massacre, the one that they administer them directly. So make some person not can lie for you. Say a mayor na a civilian. He not be a civilian. Na he di direct the massacres. So he not be a civilian. Na he di perpetrate the massacre. Na he di give order. Na he di monitor them. Na he di administer them. Na he di engineer them. So make some person not lie for you. Every single one of them must face justice for Ambazonia. For every place where they turn, whether not for market, they will face justice. Whether they go for go buy water, they will face justice. Whether they go for go peace, they will face justice. There is no hiding place for every one of them for Ambazonia. Because of which they don't do for our people. Then. Now the justice that where they must face them. They must face justice and they must face accountability. And what happened for Bamenda 3 days ago. Now just the beginning, where you go see in the absence of international intervention, in the absence of a negotiated settlement, Cameroon must take we serious. Once they understand, say they not fit jail a Yoktabe for 8 years and we leave them go free. They not fit kill Ivo and they go free. They not fit kill Efam and they go free. They not fit take the only person, peacemaker, Ayabacho Lucas. He be negotiate with the Canadians and the Norwegians and be involved. Now the same people don't take it for compromise with Cameroon and France. For make sure say Ambazonia not get a credible leadership. We go confront this evil. So they take the only thing, the only leader will never be compromised. They go after you for giving all kind names, for use them as a triggering mechanism for detaining. And then they use delay tactics for continuously detaining. Even when they not fit produce evidence for their fictitious claims. When the Manfe massacre occurred for October 2023, the Cameroon government, within 24 hours, it published a report and it called out the forces where the Cameroon be, they infiltrate them and they use them for commit the massacre. It don't get anything for do with the Ambazonia Governing Council or the Ambazonia Defense Forces, but they get everything for do with the local Ambazonian forces. Where we don't want when in the last 4 years say they don't be infiltrated. And I don't consistently point them out of the crimes that they use them for committing for Manu. I don't send several warnings out. When the Mamfe massacre occurred for October 2023, the Cameroon government, their own Ministry of Communication, their own Ministry of Defense, it published a communique and it named the Ambazonian fighters from Manu. Would they be responsible for that massacre? Would they be? So how that one relate with Ayabacho Lucas? How that one relate with the Ambazonian Defense Forces? So they use them as an excuse for framing, even when their own investigation, it points that the local forces from Manu, and they call the force their name. But today, now the same thing, they don't use them as their own catch for Ambazonia against Dr. Choluka Sayaba. With their own facts, they be contrary to the accusation. Because they want painty for use them as an excuse. You know if you get Ayok Tabe for jail. You know if you get Pam Fongalan for jail. You know if you get Mancho BBC for jail. You know if you get Tassan Wilfred for jail. You know if you get Benji for jail. You know if you get Penn for jail. You know if you get thousands of Ambazonians for jail. And you get these murderers. They go around what territory anyhow. They must face natural justice until themselves they start to feel the pain of their crimes on the Ambazonian people in the form of accountability and retributive justice and natural justice. Cameroon no go ever change its behavior until when they woke up for morning time, 10 of these their colonial administrators, they don't face accountability and justice. The narrative, Cameroon in response, Cameroon in attitude, go start for change. When they woke up for morning time, 15 of their colonial administrators, they don't face accountability and justice. They don't face retributive justice. They have the victims. They don't hold them accountable and give them the punishment and the justice where they deserve. The occupation will start for crumble. When they woke up morning time, 5, they don't face justice and accountability. 10 don't face justice and accountability. Just like what happened for Bamenda 3 days ago. When the deputy mayor, he faced justice and accountability. When they woke up 3, 4, 5, 10, they don't face justice and accountability. The occupation will start for crumble. The military only did it now for protect the managers of the occupation. It be 10 times more expensive for go fight the military, for go fight the police, for go fight the gendarmes, for go fight the army, for go fight the B. And it cost almost nothing for render traditional justice, natural justice, retributive justice, and accountability. Penn must come out. Ayok must come out. Tassa must come out. But we must show a new level. We need for recalibrate how would you go about for fight the occupier. You need for punch the occupier for the place where it go pain you the most. Justice and accountability go pain the occupier the most. More than any amount of B, gendarme, police, and army, you go kill them. Justice and accountability cost less. And it produced the greatest impact and the fastest route to freedom and independence for the Ambazonian people then. For the next 3 months, in fact, for the next 2 months, all the Ambazonian people then will be victims of Cameroon's terrorism and killings. Will they be victims of Cameroon's destruction? All Ambazonian, everyone a victim, will not exact accountability and render justice to every single colonial administrator. Any place we will not catch any of them, make the face accountability and the face natural justice. In the absence of international mediation, the fastest way this, where the Ambazonian people go elevate themselves, where Ambazonia go rise. And the fastest way this for drain the Ambazonian territory from this evil way they plant for our land. Weakness, it attract aggression and bullying. We must rise and free the Mancho BBCs, and free the Ayok Tabel, and free the Benjis, and free the Tassam, and free Panfo. Now our actions, once we start for whole these colonial enablers, these traitors, these sellouts, these managers of Cameroon's occupation, once they start for face accountability and justice for Amazonia, the game don't end. They bring in a complex thinking and how to solve complex issues in the simplest way we could deliver the quickest, fastest results. Above all, it will bring accountability and justice to the Ambazonian people. And ultimately, it give the Ambazonian people them back the dignity, their land, their freedom, and their independence. My message this one.
Go, 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 go. Oh, shut up, shut up. No, on les influence pas avec là. Fais vite. Un point, c'est ce que tu fais la vidéo là.
Il faut tremper les seins, même les seins
là.
Voilà.
Moi, Bobby, for water.
Allez.
Bobby, ça water.
Put water.
Put your body. Put the gun.
Après, on ne sort pas. Tu ne vas pas mourir.
You.
Tu vois les filles.
Put your body, ça water.
Les filles, les femmes, on a mettre là, on fait ça.
Avance.
When you look
Ça vous allez aller laver
at
vos
the pictures on the left,
Avancez.
you see Siseko, Ayok Tabe, and others. We have more than 3,000 Ambazonians locked up in the prisons of Cameroon. The shame of Africa is not only because we sat and watched our heroes murdered, it's because we collaborated with those who kill our own warriors, the Thomas Sankaras, the Patrice Lumumbas. And that Nigeria could collaborate with the tyranny of Cameroon to kidnap our own leaders, transport them to Yaoundé, kept them incommunicado for more than a year, tortured them psychologically, brought a lot of pain on their family, put them through a kangaroo trial in the night, sentenced them to life in jail. It's a slap on the face of every living Ambazonian. That is why we have said we must match Cameroon method for method. Fight them in every inch of our homeland, because they don't understand dialogue. They don't understand negotiations, because the weapons they deploy in the occupation of our homeland is that of brute force. In the past years, we put in place a well-refined strategy because we realized occupation was predicated on political governance without your consent. we realized occupation was predicated on economic exploitation. That is why we taught our defense forces to shatter the myth around Cameroon's invincibility, because Cameroon believed it was powerful to subdue us for more than 50 years, and it will be able to subdue us for the next 50 years. We shattered their invincibility when they declared war on us. We took the war to them. We fought them block by block, inch by inch, rooftop by rooftop, backside by backside. We made them to understand this generation is not the generation you can mess up with. That we have studied the occupier and we understand them. And we aren't gonna blink until the last forces of Cameroon are bundled out of our homeland. And we aren't gonna forgive and forget. We aren't gonna forgive and forget. There will be accountability, and we will hold all those murderers and rapists and bring them to justice. And I have made a solemn promise to our people. Even if Mr. Biya dies, we will search for his grave, exhume his body, bring his bones to our court, and try him for murder and genocide against our people. This is not the generation that will forgive and forget. All of our resources that have been stolen, we will search for them and bring them back in our homeland to give our people a fair shot in this world.
Precious Jemia in Angangolo, and I'm a Bakurian. Since that incident, since the day of the incident, Mr. Eyenga has been threatening me, he has been calling my phone, he has been calling me that because I told him that I'm going to report this matter. He said if I mention that it's 1 second for him to kill me, that he's going to end my life. And since I'm not working freely, like I'm scared of my life because I don't know the next step that he can do. He told me that he's a general in Central Police there, that if he wants to frame me up, it's 1 second for me. Since that day, I've been really traumatized, and he's only calling me and be threatening me that he's going to kill me. If I don't sleep with him again, that he will kill me. That if he does not sleep with I and my friend, that he's going to kill us. This is my friend, her name is Yolan.
Yeah, my name is Pia Yolan Bukwe. I'm a Bakurian from Bukoba. I school at JHS Bukoba Roram. I'm the victim of the incident I was caught on Sunday, in which I used Mr. Eyenga's phone to call my friend to bring my birth certificate because I'm still 16. I don't have an ID card. I called her using his phone. Meanwhile, the man directly told me, Mr. Eyenga told me in his office that if I sleep with him, he's going to release me at the moment. I told him that no, I cannot, that is going to be traumatized. The man said, okay, I should go back there. They said I'm going to work inside them. I went, not knowing that he has taken his phone and called my friend, telling her that they should meet up at checkpoint, in which they did without me knowing. It's just now that I found out, as she earlier said, after he slept with her, telling her that if she says anything, he's going to kill her. Also telling me that if he does not sleep with me, I'm not going to be released. In which I cried that day in the station until one other chef came and released me.
The soft-spoken late Meongong Innocent, before his demise, have been operating the Bello cancer in Bello, unlike other cancers within the restive Northwest region, operating away from their base due to the ongoing crisis in the Northwest and Southwest region, which is close to 8 years now.
Go, 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 go. Oh, shut up, shut up. No, on l'influence pas là. Fais vite. Un prince, c'est tu fais la vidéo là.
Il faut tremper les seins, même les seins.
Voilà.
Welcome to ACN.